Just a forewarning, this is going to be a scenario, it's going to be a gimmick, and it's going to be a little overpowered. It has a non-official Heroscape unit in it. Not quite a custom, but it's a scenario timer, if you will. Represented today by the red and black D20 is going to be the Marro Dividers, and they are bringing along the hero Torkul Na. They come in at 470 points and have the following abilities. Cell Divide. When a Marro Divider you control receives one or more wounds from a normal or special attack by an opponent's figure, you may roll the 20-sided die before removing the figure. If you roll a 17 or higher, ignore any wounds that figure just received, and, if possible, place one of your previously destroyed Marro Dividers on a same level space adjacent to the defending Marro Divider. And self-replicating, Marro Hive cannot rebirth Marro Dividers with its Marro Rebirth special power. Torkul Na has Trample Stomp. At any point while moving, Torkul Na may choose a small or medium figure that is an adjacent on the same level and on a space where Torkul Na may end his movement. Roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 1 to 7, the figure is safe and Torkul Na's movement ends. If you roll a 8 to 20, the chosen figure receives 1 wound. If the wound destroys the figure, move Torkul Na onto the space the figure occupied, and you may continue Torkul Na's movement. If the chosen figure is not destroyed, Torkul Na's movement ends. Torkul Na must be on a space where he can end movement each time he uses this power. Coming in at 495 points and represented by the light and dark green D20 is going to be the Armoc Vipers. They are bringing along Sonlin. No, I'm not going to explain how flying works. It's a keyword. Armoc Vipers have Ular Warlord bonding. Before taking a turn with Armoc Vipers, you may first take a turn with any warlord you control who follows Ular. And Slither. Armoc Vipers do not have to stop their movement when entering water spaces. Sonlin has Healing Wing 13. After moving normally with Sonlin, you may choose a figure with one or more wounds that is adjacent to Sonlin or that he has passed over during his movement this turn and roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 13 or higher, remove one wound marker from that figure. And Dragon Assault. When Sonlin attacks an adjacent figure or destructible object, he may attack one additional time. If Sonlin used his flying special power this turn, roll one additional combat die on the first attack. And flying. Today's map is the Catacombs, and it is adorned with Marvel Crisis Protocol background stuff just because I painted it and I'm proud of it, which will lead me into this scenario. But also, you'll notice that there are quite a few glyphs and treasure glyphs all symbol side up. The treasure glyphs have no trap. You stand on them as a hero, you get it. But now, let's get into starting zones and the scenario itself that I've devised as a timer. First off, I have 32 dice here. They are going to be rolled like so, and I will place them randomly on this board. Well, not quite randomly, but I will place them in varied spots around this board, and then we'll get to unit placement. Now, because unit placement is going to be a little random here, I had to place my order markers first, only for this first round, because I don't want to set up a hero to be in a really good treasure position and all that, and bank on rushing them to treasure. You'll see in a moment. Alright, the dice have been placed, and now I'm going to roll red for Utgar, and because I don't have enough green, yellow and green for Ular's forces. And then when one of those numbers corresponds, I'll alternate between... Here, I'll just show you. So, I'm not going to record this whole process, but a 6 and a 3. So, I can just take a 6 with Utgar, and a 3 with Ular, and place them like so. And I will do that. The hero will be placed last, and it'll get whatever is left over. And that's why I'm not going to record this whole process, because I'm just going to roll 2 at a time. And I will periodically just give a clip of an update and all that, so you can see where the heroes end up before I actually place them. And here's how the rolls are going now. I'm trying to fill up from this way, that way with the rolls. But I just decided to do that now that I'm sitting at this part of the rolling. Only 1s and 4s left. Haven't been rolling those very much. I had one too many dice on the table, but this is how it ended up. Now, to explain the scenario. The map, the Catacombs, was a little too big for me, so I decided to make something to speed this game up a little bit, starting with the random placement, but also into this idea that I had. And first off, all the Marvel stuff is making it a little too busy, so I'm removing all that. Alright, here comes the scenario. First off, let me say I don't like customs. I understand that some of the designs can be well done, well balanced, and just, good for the game, but I don't like them because they're not official. That's just who I am. I like official only. That being said, I paid money to have a 3D printed miniature that I painted and put time in, and I'm going to feature it in this video because I have no other real way to show it off other than a here's what I painted thing, and that's not very entertaining. So we're going to go back to the era of the PlayStation 3 to a card game called the Eye of Judgment. Now the way this game worked was you'd point a camera, the PlayStation Eye, at a playmat and play cards. Well, on these cards were little codes that were picked up by a camera, and it was scanned, and your unit was put onto the TV in a 3D playing field with animations and everything. Well, one of my favorites came from the second set. It is the Novogus Sinbearer. It was a unit that did not have any attack, but would provide a lot of mana for creatures that were destroyed, and if it was ever taken off of Earth fields, it was just automatically destroyed. Well, I tried to adapt that to Heroscape for the sake of this video in a scenario timer. He is here. This is my paint job. This 3D miniature was created by Dice Bear Prince, and I modified it a little bit, took some of the spikes off the leg manacles and all that, but I also added some poorly done green stuff faces on the orb on its back because there's a ton of them on here, but the 3D print didn't really have those. I'm not saying this is not quality. It was awesome, and he did a great job, and I'm happy to have this miniature. Well, I also created an army card for it because he is going to be a wandering monster in this scenario, attacking whoever is nearest. And he has the following abilities. This is not intended to be used in proper Heroscape. It is overpowered, it's not balanced, and let me tell you right now, I don't care. I don't want to know how to tweak it. I don't want to know how to make it better for the game. It's for this video. The Novogus Sinbearer has the following abilities. Soul Gatherer. Novogus Sinbearer gets +1 attack for every destroyed figure in the current game. If the figure is revived, rejected by death, or returns to play for any reason, Novogus Sinbearer loses attack equal to the amount of figures returned as they are returned to play. Novogus Dynasty Native. Novogus Sinbearer is immediately destroyed if he ends his turn on a grass or adjacent to a tree. Protect the Living. Any figures adjacent to Novogus Sinbearer gets +1 defense. And Serve Only the Dead. Whichever player has the most destroyed figures at the end of a round may take a free activation with Novogus Sinbearer after all other end-of-round effects have taken place. Now, his personality is xenial, which means he is kind and welcoming to strangers. It was either that or xenophobic. Since he is welcoming and guiding and gathering the dead, he's xenial towards them, but he hates the living and he wants more of the dead. Also, that's another reason why I don't like customs. The amount of figures returned as they return to play. Should it be as they are returned to play? I don't know. Anyway, he's got 25 life, no defense, 1 range, and attack 0. And he's 450 points just because. Doesn't really matter. So, in this scenario, the catacombs have become the catacombs, lair of the Novogus Sinbearer. He will be taking a turn after every player turn. And then at the end of the round, the one with the most destroyed figures, I will send him toward the opposite army and see if I can't get a kill that way. And we'll keep it going, and that'll speed up the game. Either if he dies, there's supposedly going to be a lot of other dead figures. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And yes, the Novogus Sinbearer can pick up treasure glyphs or stop on other glyphs. However, since it will always be moving towards an enemy unit, it's not guaranteed to purposely go and grab treasure glyphs. That is most likely only to change when the opposing figure sends the miniature somewhere, but I'm not going to purposely try and get him to gather up a bunch of treasures, because that'll make it bad for the units that controlled him the turn before. Alright, round 1, fight! Okay, we've got 19-1. Ular's team is going to go first, and we've got Armoc Vipers. Now, I don't have any warlords for them to bond with, and they do have slithers, so let's start getting some attacks. I know we got a lot of height nearby, but 1, 2, 3. We'll stop this one there, and we'll go this one here, which is Glyph of Xenothrax Vines. If a huge figure moves onto this glyph, the glyph is immediately removed from the battlefield, and that figure may continue its movement. Figures standing on this glyph roll 1 fewer attack die, and 2 fewer defense dice. When a figure on this glyph moves off of this glyph, roll 1 attack die. If you roll a skull, that figure takes 1 wound. Remove this glyph from the battlefield after a figure moves off of it, or at the end of a round if there's a figure standing on it. Alright, so that wasn't too great. Let's see what else we can do. And, well, don't really have any other height. Well, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll stop this one here. All right, we are going to get an attack down right there first. It's going to be 3 normally, 1 for height. And that's 2. And there's 1. However, let's see if it gene splices or whatever, 17 or higher. Now, in the future, I'll be able to roll this d20 with their defense roll just to save some time. 4, not spliced, bully, dead. And that means the Novogus Sinbearer gains a die. Okay, we will do an attack across right there, which is going to be 3 normally, but -1 due to Zenithrax Vines, and nothing. Now we will get an attack down right there. 3 normally, 1 for height. And there's going to be 1, and we'll roll these together. He rolls a defense anyway, so you're good. Okay, now for the Novogus Sinbearer to go, and he has 7 move. Well, the closest one is going... Make sure your phone is charged before you record a Heroscape video. Anyway, as I was saying, this one is closest, and I'm going to always try to give the Novogus Sinbearer a advantageous attack. I'm going to move him towards height if it's available and stuff, just to keep that soul train moving. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do his free flip and rest his fist upon the head of this Armoc Viper and get an attack down. That's going to be 1 for Soul Gatherer, 1 for height. And that's going to be 1. Armocs have a defense of 3 and 1 defended. Okay, order marker number 1 on this side is going to be Torkul Na. And we will do, 1 to 7, the figure is safe. 8 to 20, the chosen figure receives a wound. Well, we will go 1, 2, 3, and we'll try and stomp him there, because if we were to go on the glyph, it would force stopped movement. So let's try and get a squelch of this Viper underfoot. 18. That's a smash, and he has 2 dice now. All right. And he's going to then go here, and then stop on this glyph. Glyph of Loden, lucky 20-sider. Whenever you roll a 20-sided die, you may add 1 to your die roll. Alright, now it is time for the Novogus Sinbearer to take another turn. And since he is engaged, he's going to attack down again. That's going to be 2 for Soul Gatherer, 1 for height. And that's going to be 1. One thing I already forgot about my own thing is they have a defense of 3 normally, plus 1 for Protect the Living. So, well, 3. He's fine. Not only do I forget abilities of cards that actually matter, I forget abilities of stupid things I made up just before this video. So, order marker number 2 on this side of the table is going to be on Sonlin. And we are going to fly, which allows you to move over obstacles such as ruins and figures without becoming engaged. And we are going to go 1, 2, 3, and plop down right there. And we are going to take advantage of Dragon Assault. So 4 normally, plus 1 for Dragon Assault, and we're going to attack the guy on height because we have extra attack dice. And that is going to be 4. Nice. Now he's got 3. We can roll this to see if he does Cell Divide. And he only defends 2, but only rolled a 12. So no, he is out. And let's just do this. Let's do 3, and keep that like that. And we'll do another. Then we will attack again, because Dragon Assault allows us to attack a second time, and that is going to be 1. and 1. So, defended. Okay, Novogus Sinbearer is going to go again, and he's going to attack down with an attack of height. That's going to be 4 normally, plus 1 for height on this Armoc. And that is going to be 3. The Armoc has a defense of 3 normally, plus 1 for protect the living. And not enough. He is dead, which adds another die. We'll just keep them in rows of 5. It'll be easier that way. Okay, order marker number 2 is going to be on the Marro dividers. And, well, we've got him over there. Might as well get an attack in before he dies. Move this one here. And then I don't think we can get any more height advantage. We could bank on 2 attacks on that guy if one failed, but I'd rather just go for, let's go for this glyph. 1, 2, 3. We'll stop here. And it is Glyph of Feleron, glyph removal. Well, let's just get rid of whatever this is. Might and Soul. Oh, good. Even more of a time waster is gone. Glyph of Feleron, glyph removal. Remove any other glyph from the battlefield. Alright, let's get some attacks in. First, we're going to get an attack across right there. That's going to be 3. And that's 1. Now, normally, they have a defense of 3. So, due to Zenithrax Vines, he only has a defense of 1. And blanks it. He is gone. Oh, let's do another row of 5. And this is gone. I'm going to have to reshuffle the glyphs in the bag soon. I'm running out. Alright, now we're going to get an attack across right here. So that's going to be 3 on 3. And 1. 1. Defended. Let's get an attack down right there. That's going to be 3 normally. 1 for height. And that is another 1. And blanks it. Does not defend. Not great. And that's their turn. Now for the Novogus Sinbearer, who simply has to just flip this way. And he will get an attack right there. And that is currently going to be 7 for Soul Gatherer. And that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6. Well, we've got 3 and a possible cell divide. And, well, 1 for defend the living, or protect the living, whatever it's called. Doesn't matter. 12 does not cell divide. He just cell dies. Order marker number 3 is going to be on the Armoc Vipers. And let's go. What you gonna do with the drunken sailor? Well, this is pretty well defended over here. We got 1 Marro there. So let's just start getting some 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go there. This one will stay here. And then that one will go there. We'll keep it simple. We'll give it a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Now, we will get an attack across right there. So that's going to be 1. Does not defend and does not divide. So he is gone. Let's do an attack right there. That's going to be 1. 2 defended. And then we will get an attack across right there. For 3. And does not defend, but does divide. So if you roll a 17 or higher, ignore any wounds that figure just received, and if possible, place one of your previously destroyed Marro figures, the dividers, on a same level space adjacent to them. So we'll get that there, and Novogus Sinbearer loses a die. Now it is the Novogus Sinbearer's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll stop him there. And he's got to flip that way. Okay, we'll get an attack right there. That's 8 for Soul Gatherer. And we've got 4. Well, the Marro Divider has 3 plus 1 for Protect the Living. And that is not enough. Blanks it. All right, order marker number 3 is going to be on the Marro Dividers. And we will do... Let's go... We're pretty... That guy, we don't want him to just die. He's got a movement of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just get him out of the Novogus Sinbearer's way. This one will stay here. And then this one will stay engaged to Sonlin and move there. All right, first we'll get an attack across right there. For 2. And does not defend. Then we will get an attack across right here. For 1. And defended. Now it is for the Novogus Sinbearer to go, and we will do 1, 2, 3. We'll stop there and get an attack. That is going to be 10 for Soul Gatherer. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even with Protect the Living. Does not matter. He's gone. And with 6 to 5, the Armoc Vipers get to take control of the Novogus Sinbearer for the end of this round. So we will immediately just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop there and get an attack on the one that's down in shadow. That's going to be 11 for Soul Gatherer. Not 1 for height. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he gets 3 normally, 1 for Protect the Living, and 1 for being in shadow. Does not roll 5 shields, and also only rolls a 4. So he is gonzo. Alright, now it is a new round. 16 to 10. Vipers are first, and they've got order marker number 1 on the Armoc Vipers. Well, we're just going to leave this one here. This one will go 1, 2, 3. We don't want that height attack against us, so we'll get an attack across right there. That's going to be 1. And nothing, and only rolls a 15. Does not divide. Next up, we'll get an attack across right there. Blank. And then we'll get an attack across right here. And nothing. Okay, Novogus Sinbearer is going to stay there and attack straight up. That's 13 for Soul Gatherer. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the threshold of his defense. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we only need to roll 9. Does not splice. But he does smash pretty well. He's dead. Okay, so we will add another die. And now it is time for Torkool Na to go. And I think that the strategy should be to take down the Sinbearer. It has 25 life. But if I lose this hero, that's... well, let's do it. Okay, we're going to go here. And stop. We've got to take him out. Yeah, it helps if he dies that Sonlin's still going to be left. But I think that this match is about done anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 normally. 1 for height. Novogus Sinbearer has no defense. And that's going to be 3 wounds. So that was most definitely a poor choice. I could have fled him and hoped that other creatures and things would have slowed him down, because the winner is going to be determined by whose army is surviving, not who kills that thing. It was stupid. Okay, well, he's going to respond with an attack up. That's going to be 14 dice. And there's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 8 coming at him. And he normally has a defense of 5. 1 for Protect the Living and 1 from height. And he defends 2 of it. So 6. He's dead. And there goes the whole round for the Marro. Man, that was a big dumb mistake. Big dumb mistake. And not a really entertaining video now. We'll see how the rest goes. Not a really entertaining video now. Has it been to this point? Right, well, order marker number 2 is going to be on the Armoc Vipers. And we'll stay there, we'll stay there. And this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just to get him out of range of the Sinbearer. All right, let's get an attack across on that Marro. And that's going to be 1. And 2 with the 17. Now, he doesn't divide, because if you roll 17 or higher, ignore any wounds that figure just received. Oh, never mind. Oh, if he receives 1 or more wounds. So yeah, no. He doesn't divide because he did not receive a wound. So, let's get an attack right here. That's going to be 2. There we go, 2, blocked. Well, not too great for the Vipers, but it's now going to be their turn here, and that's 1, 2, 3. He's just going to stop right there and get an attack down. That's going to be 15 dice. Oh, he's not attacking down. He doesn't have height advantage. And there's 3, 4. That's the protect threshold. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's 2. Oh, and protect the living. He's still dead. And does not divide. Okay. Order marker number 2 would have been on Torkoal Na, but he is dead. So now Novogus Sinbearer gets his turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll stop there. And we'll get an attack down on this Viper right there. That is going to be 16 dice. If I get higher than 4 skulls, he's dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, he's very much dead. Okay. And just because it's easier to keep track if the Marro come back. Marro, come back! Now we will do order marker number 3. Armoc Vipers. And, well, let's just try and wipe out these guys, huh? Well, you're stuck. 1, 2, we'll go here. And 1, 2, 3. We'll just take out that one. Okay, we'll get an attack across on this. I always do that. I always say that, but it's that. Armocs have this one in the bag, I think. 1. You say that, but here comes a cell divide. Nope, 16 and nothing. Boink. And now we'll get an attack across on that one. That's going to be 3. And 3 defended naturally. defended au natural. And we'll get an attack right there. And that's going to be nothing. Now, the Novogus Sinbearer is going to go. And he's going to get a total of 18 dice. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He obliterates this Viper. Okay. And adds another soul to the ball of torment on his back. Well, it's not really torment, I guess. He's saving them. Gathering them for some nefarious Novogus dynasty purposes. Then order marker number 3 would have been Torkul Na, so he's going to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he will attack with 19 dice. Again, the threshold to kill him is 5 skulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're up to 20 dice for the Novogus Sinbearer. And this guy is dead. And that is the end of the round, which means the one with the most figures destroyed gets to control him. Got 10, 11 to the 9 of the Vipers. Okay. So, we're actually going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll stop there. And I don't want to break the 3D model. The chain is a little loose. So instead, we're just going to do this. Don't have to break him. Okay. We'll get an attack down. It's going to be 20 for Soul Gatherer. And 1 for height. And this is the serve only the dead activation. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got 13. So even with Protect the Living, the most he could get is 4. So we're just going to add another. Because at most he receives 9 damage. Or at least, I mean, at the very least. Alright. Round 3. Got 6 to 4. Man, Vipers. Vipers, no viping. They are going first. And let's just focus. Well, the game is not in the bag. There's still 5 Marro left. It's not necessarily an automatic win here for these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can't get away, but he can be bait to drive the Novogus Sinbearer that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. So, we've got to give up some attacks here. 1, 2, 3. Give up an attack on height, that is. 4, and we'll stop that one there. Probably dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll stop here. Okay, first, this dude is going to attack that guy. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, this one will attack across. That's going to be 1. And 1. Defended. Let's get an attack across right there. For 2. And only 1, and rolls a 9. Does not defend. Oh, man. Adds another die to Soul Gatherer. And then we'll do an attack across right there. And that's going to be 2. And 1, but only rolls a 2. Does not defend. Okay, now I can say it's probably a much clearer picture of what's going to happen. Novogus Sinbearer is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll stop there, and he will roll his grip of dice here. 23. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, plenty. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oops, I only rolled 22. So, still 13. So I guess I will fare thee well. The game was lost for the Marro when I decided to engage that impossibly healthy figure with Torkoal Ma. Order marker number 1, Marro dividers. And we've got to stay where we're at. Let's get an attack across right there. Well, it's not totally lost, because right here, 2 and 1. Yeah, they could still win. Okay. We'll get an attack down on that guy. 3 normally, 1 for height. And that's going to be 1. 1 defended. And we'll get an attack across on that guy. For 3. And 1. Does not defend. Alright, Novogus Sinbearer is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to stop there. And now order marker number 2 is going to be, well, I could keep this video going and give the Marro a chance and actually engage them in battle. There's an even amount of squads left. Or I can be cheap and send this Viper shooting that way 7 spaces, because he could catch up eventually, maybe. He could not. This guy would always be trailing behind. So, for the sake of not making this video a game of catch and mouse, we're going to stay engaged and continue the fight. Okay, so let's do... You're going to stay engaged here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one will go there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see what this is. Glyph of Ranavig, no flying. What a waste of time. That was stupid. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Go there. Should have went for an attack. Just like Torkoal now. Why did I not go down there? Because I was like, oh, it's a height attack against me. Whatever. Let's get an attack across right there. Wait. Yes, right there. So that's going to be 3. 1. And defended. Now let's get an attack across right there. For 3. And 7 and blanks. Does not get enough to splice. Okay. That's up to 27 dice. Novogus Sinbearer is going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't get over there. They're equidistant. 5, 6. So you're going to stop there and attack up. 27 dice. Gotta film a whole nother video just showing me putting the dice in the cup. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, he's dead. Order marker number 2, Marro dividers. We'll go here and get 2 attacks on this guy. Because what I just said I wasn't going to do with the Vipers, I did with the Marro to leave that guy open for attack. Oops. Alright, first attack for nothing. And then attack number 2 for 1. Defended. Okay, well, Novogus Sinbearer is going to go. And he's just going to flip and attack this guy. for 28 dice. He just needs higher than 4 skulls. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't even need to count the rest. He's gone. It is possible that he could roll not enough. Very, very unlikely. Order marker number 3 is going to be on the Viper. And we'll get an attack across right there. So that's going to be 3... 2... And 1 and a 10 does not defend. And he's gone. Oh, this is probably the game right here. Okay. Because it's the Novogus Sinbearer's turn and he's closer. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to stop here. And we'll just stand there and get an attack right here for 30 dice. And that is 13 skulls. So, Marro does not sell divide, and even with Protect the Living defense, can't defend. And the Armoc Vipers win due to, I guess you could call it the timer. He's gone. As I said, the Novogus Sinbearer is now going to rest peacefully next to my PC as a painted miniature that I'm proud of the job that I did on it, even if I could have done better on the green stuff faces on the ball. I was just in a hurry to paint it because I thought it was so awesome that I got this figure. He can sit with the few other custom and weird attempts I did just for stuff. Don't like customs. And here are the stats as they currently sit. I messed up and colored that in black, so I put some paint on there and it's still wet. But there's Ular with a victory, Utgar with another loss, continuing his hot streak of failures as the wins start to vary in color. It's starting to bleed through the paper.